Of course, as soon as we go live, Scam Likely starts calling me. My best friend,
Scam Likely.
Scam
My
Likely.
good friend, Scam Likely. Yeah.
So,
oh, hey, that works nice.
Welcome to Zombie Time Music Hour. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
Got Z-Fi and Liz Dayer with us.
Yep. What up?
Gonna be dropping some music. We're talking some craziness. Yeah. So we just wrapped up our podcast recording before this, so we were talking a lot about the creator economy and all of these exciting, fun tools that are coming out. Also today, IRL, I was talking about AI with a bunch of people that, don't use it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my God.
It's easier to talk AI with normies than crypto, though.
It's true. It's true. It's weird. You know what it is? This is really interesting to me. So AI, people are hyper fixated on it because they feel like it affects them more. They feel like, oh, AI is going to take my job, or it's going to not be diverse enough, or it's going to kill us all, or whatever your thesis is on AI. Like, everybody seems to be talking about AI, but they don't want to talk about crypto because, in my opinion, it's a weird authority thing because, like, crypto enables you to take ownership and responsibility of your own money, your own digital property rights, your own data, your own identity. And it seems like more people are like, no, you need to manage this for me and properly.
I think it's just the default. We're so used to, here, bank, you do this. Here,
right.
Mortgage
but
company,
we're in a spot in politics where everybody is hyper aware of the fact that we're getting screwed. So knowing
everything,
everybody in every walk of life knows you're getting screwed. Why don't people look for ways to get out of it? And that's how I got into crypto and NFTs, because I was looking at this crap financial system and looking at, negative yields on my money everywhere you look, like, oh yeah, give us your money, we'll lose it. Like, there's
we can lose that for you at a steady rate.
Yeah, like, so I guess to me it's this weird thing with the public where, like, I feel like more people should hear about crypto, hear about NFTs, and say, oh shit, I need to take control of my life, I need to take control of these things. And then, like, I guess that's what it is. You know what it is? People like to complain. They don't like solutions. Crypto is a solution, and AI is another thing to complain about. Like, we're using AI as a solution because we're in the solution business. We're like here to like, that's what we do.
We're here for the solutions. Yeah,
we're here for the solutions. That's why we're in crypto. Like, that's what we do. That's why we're educating, and that's why we tap into the things that we do as creators. But I was just opening up the 402 and lost my train of thought. But
I've got it open too. Can confirm it's showing up and sounding great.
Killer. But yeah, like but other people, like normies who aren't in crypto, will still get into AI because most people are just complaining about it. They're not using it.
It's hard and it's new. It's easy to go, well, that's scary, than it is to learn how to use it.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just that education.
I feel like there's like a learning barrier. I know it was that way for me, and it kind of still is.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a learning barrier, but I think I'm talking more to people that aren't even trying. Like, most people on social media are just like, they're hearing something on another social media channel and then complaining about it loudly. Like, you know how many people I've heard complain?
Yeah, it's
people
scary.
Gave ChatGPT $60 and it ran off and started a multi-million-dollar business. And I'm like, bruh, you're not even getting half the facts right in that. Like, how do you, let me ask you
Right.
a
And then
technical-
why don't you do it?
This is what I've been getting people with
It's
when they
free.
say that to me. I'm like, okay, how did they give Chat GPT the $60? Explain to me the process by which they gave the AI the money. Let's start at bridge one. They gave it money. How? Explain this simple concept to me. And they
Well, I
can't.
saw on Facebook.
Right. Well, I saw on Facebook. Yeah, exactly.
Here we
Like,
go.
I heard another one
But there's
is
bits of truth in that, though. That
there
is a
are.
thing. This hustle GPT, people have said, if I were to give you $10, how would you deal with it to
The
create
thing is,
more? Now?
they didn't actually make any money yet, or whatever money they made is minuscule. Like, so they made like a few $1,000s or something. Maybe they've made more by now, but at the time that I was reading the story, they'd actually only made a few $1,000s. And most of the money that they made came from selling this idea to other people, which is what every fucking business or scam is. Like, it's basically like, oh, look at this cool app, buy it from me. I have no intention of doing this. Yeah. The other big thing is the data sets. People are very upset about the data sets because they say, well, you didn't ask my permission to use my art. You didn't ask my permission to use my music. You didn't ask my permission to use all of my social media posts or whatever things I put on Wikipedia or Reddit or whatever's public that they can get to, or whatever data sets they were able to buy, which can be your social media because you gave it away.
Facebook's got it for sale.
They can sell it. You know what I mean? So this is where it comes into crypto with the AI and crypto thing, because people complain AI didn't ask my permission. Yes, it did. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud, Reddit, whenever you gave those platforms your permission to control your data, you also gave them permission to sell it to whoever, and whoever happened to be OpenAI. So now that a computer can totally steal your entire style, you can't complain about it, because instead of using crypto to protect your data, you gave it away.
Bingo. You let these other companies sell your stuff.
Right. So you can't then turn around and say, oh, I don't like the way you're using my data. Well, you clicked agree.
How about that?
and it's I'm not taking their side, because to me, those terms of service are bullshit. They make you sign away your legal rights as a human being that they shouldn't be able to take. And the only reason you give them away is because people don't understand how important their data is. And they're just starting to realize.
You want to get on the platform, because if you don't, then you're going to get left behind. So you feel like you need access to this tool at any cost.
Exactly. And I mean, it's the same with Google. We use Google and Google Maps and all those things, and it's the same exact thing. You opt into this service, but they are taking your data and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. And that includes knowing point A to point B of everywhere you go in your life. And like, if you signed a terms of service that says that they can sell that data, well, now they can sell your travel data to an advertisement company that knows which billboards these types of people will see, or which type, like, they can basically, using AI, be able to figure, because that's the other part of this too. When people were like, you're being targeted ads by people, by algorithms, by, algorithms is AI. Like, algorithms were the building blocks of creating AI. And so what you think of as the stupidest algorithm got smarter and smarter and smarter, to the point that I promise you that if we're using AI right now, the 2016 through 2020 election problems weren't caused by Russia. They were caused by algorithms run by AI. Maybe Russia unleashed that algorithm somewhere or something, whatever. But the bottom line is, those algorithms, like, that wasn't caused by a human being. That was caused by people reacting to clickbait created by people, but proliferated by artificial intelligence. Why would bad stuff get spread around? Because dopamine, because you liked it, because cameras record your pupil dilation. So when you're watching a video and your eyes dilate, that's how they know you like it. Not because you clicked it, because you stayed on it for 30 seconds longer than you stayed on the last video and your eyes dilated. We saw you enjoy
Hate that. Hate that.
That's crazy. Wow.
Now imagine you got your Fitbit hooked up. They saw your pulse spike. Now imagine you are running all kinds of biometrics to your phone because of health reasons or whatever else. Or maybe you happen to be using some kind of like, a pacemaker or some other medical device that actually transmits data to a computer now, because these things aren't just microwaves in your heart. They're like, you know what I mean? They're actually like
Wi-Fi
devices that can be accessed without opening you up every time. We may just need to like check things out, and we're just going to like look at this device. Well, those devices also have terms of service agreements, and you would hope that your medical data would be protected, but capitalism.
But capitalism.
Everything is for sale, including your private medical data, because who the hell is Hippocrates under capitalism? Like, I mean, look, this is getting a little too strong worded, but the bottom line is the Hippocratic Oath can't exist while insurance exists. Like, those two things are in conflict. You can't be a doctor not killing people and stick it out and say, oh, I'm sorry, you have no insurance, you have to leave. That is against the Hippocratic Oath. Or to say, oh, you have no insurance, so I guess you'll have to like die or sell all of your belongings because I'm not going to help you. I'm going to put you in debt for the rest of your life.
System says I have to nope. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's like
oof.
It's incongruent. That's my word. This is my word for things. Like, like when people's actions and their beliefs don't line up, incongruent,
How did we get here? How did we get on this topic then? We're here to drop songs.
We're talking about
get all the way down
economy
here?
and AI, okay. And I was talking about this earlier with a lot of people, just about like, really, in order for us to win the tech battle, people have to care. And what I mean by care is like, you have to be willing to use the tools that take you out of the system, that set you apart, even while using the things that you do. Like, I still use Instagram. We're using, Twitch and YouTube and other things all the time. We're using Restream right now. It's not that we're not going to use other people's tools, but you need to be able to opt in and opt out where you want to. And I mean, yeah, like, same thing with AI. I seriously think that like AI slaps jumped in. I show up, zombie dropping truth bombs.
Oh, I didn't have chat open.
Yep.
Where's he watching? Oh, it must be.
That's on the Twitch chat. Yeah.
Are we streaming to Twitch?
We're doing Twitch and 402.
Oh well, today I learned.
We're tight. We only got 2 sources. But yeah, like with the AI stuff, like, in order to win the AI battle, you actually have to be using it, and not just to like make yourself better as a person and a creator. That's a big unlock right there. To me, like, if you were using Google to get smarter, if you're using YouTube to get smarter, use AI to get smarter. You can do so much quicker. Like, research is like this. And yeah, you have to double check, you have to fact check, you have to dive deep. It's not like it's over at the first prompt. But that first prompt is so much more valuable than one Google search.
Huge list.
You know what I mean? Like, a Google search basically at this point just sends you the top payers anyway. It's like, here, these are the people that are paying to get seen. So you got to go to like page 15 before you're seeing any kind of like genuine engagement. You know what I mean? Like,
whereas with the ChatGPT, you ask it a question, and instead of just getting like a link to what might be answers, it gives you the question, gives you the answer, provides context, gives you additional information, and then asks, hey, how else can I help?
And more importantly, it's pulling from such a large data set that it's not just giving you, it's not just giving you a general, it's not just giving you one person's answer, another person's answer, this website, that website, this, and you got to go through all 10 of them before you feel like you've got any kind of a truth. It's pulling from everywhere. So you feel like, okay, you've got, at the very least, a Wikipedia level of engagement from that first prompt. You can get like a better than Wikipedia thing because, first of all, it's not Wikipedia. It's not pulling from like people. It's pulling from like all of the data
All of
sets.
the people.
But yes, what Slap says here, I totally agree with. This is something I've been saying. People who love to learn, we live in a learning education society with entertainment for education is entertainment in a sense. So we have a lot of people who love to get on YouTube. They love to learn things. They love to spend hours and hours diving into videos. But if you don't do anything with the knowledge, it didn't serve you. There was no point in learning a bunch of stuff and then not doing anything with it. And to me, AI lowers that time of research and that time of learning to the point that you can get doing. And AI is not going to help people that don't want to do things.
That's right. That's right. Even Auto GPT, what's on the horizon, is not going to be a full-fledged replacement for just human do thing.
Right.
You have to do it.
I mean, even like when you think about these really intelligent AIs that are able to do brain surgery now,
Oh God.
which is there, but the AI can do brain surgery better than any human because it and the robot are more precise and won't shake, won't have any problems whatsoever, won't come to work with a bad day. It can be
Right.
better in every way. Humans are still doing the skin and the bone. They're still peeling back the skull. They're still like, peeling back the flap and cutting the bones open to get to the brain. They're letting the computer go in the brain.
And they're also programming the brain slicey robot.
Right. Someone else's, yeah. But it's able to take a better image. It's able to go more precise. I mean, even still, like, not even just we're precise with like heat and lasers now. Like, part of the reason that like brain cancers and things like that are becoming more treatable is because you can actually like find a spot in the brain and heat up that cell specifically. Like, somehow you don't heat up every cell in between that point. Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy to think about.
I think it's some
But
kind of
that's
like
where we're at.
microwaves or something, radio wave. It's some kind of wave. They're able to send this wave in like,
So non-invasive then.
right.
Wouldn't require chemo, it sounds like.
It's a kind of chemo, but it's chemo instead of radiating your entire body, it's radiating the point that
Targeting.
needs to get radiated.
That makes sense.
Like, we're killing the cancer. And the reason you get sick from chemotherapy is because like it's attacking all of your cells, trying to get the one.
Oof.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, we've gone all over the place, but to me that it's all related. I mean, that's why am I in crypto and NFTs? Because of music, because of being an artist, because of, and then like why did I end up like really diving in here? Because of my political values, because of my human values and my societal values, and seeing that like, oh wait, this isn't just a place to release my new album. This is a place to actually like exit from the system and empower other people to be able to exit from the system to the degree that they can. And, as we were talking about in the last show, like, just, I feel like disenfranchised communities will have a better time in Web3, not necessarily because of the people, because as we've seen, crypto and Web3 is still very like white male centric. There's still a lot of us here, but the tools themselves are trustless. So the more diverse people come in here, there won't be this like hierarchical thing where you can't have your own power, because like once you start to pile crypto that no one can take, like your community becomes strong, and then therefore it doesn't matter if another community is strong because they can't hurt your community. You know what I mean? Like Solana can't do anything to Polygon. You know what I mean? Like one crypto community can't hurt another crypto community other than like literally like slinging FUD. Exactly. Yeah. But like in the traditional world, like you can get debanked. Someone can come after your community because they can convince PayPal that sex workers are bad people, and PayPal now no longer, if they find out you're a sex worker, they will cut you off.
And even if you're doing everything within your legal system in your local area.
Right.
PayPal just doesn't like it.
PayPal and those types of organizations are able to discriminate. Crypto cannot discriminate. Once you have your money on a blockchain that can't be rugged, that's the important part. You got to be using a blockchain that won't rug. You got to be using something you feel safe on, because the blockchain itself could be a scam if you're, you know what I mean? Like, or it could be something that's just not reliable. But if you're like, Aave is my big one, because I feel like if you are, if you want to get a loan, you have to go into a bank where a human being has to look at you with their eyeballs and decide whether or not you are worthy of a loan. Yeah, they're going to look at all your paperwork. They're going to look at all your stuff, but they're going to look at you and whether or not you dressed a certain way and what you look like and what, you know, your skin color, your gender, whether or not you're the right gender, like everything. Like they can judge.
Does this person represent my bank and my bank's ideals?
Right.
No loan for you.
No loan for you. That cannot happen in crypto. If you have the collateral and you put it into the smart contract, you can borrow against that collateral. No one can tell you no. And that is what it's all about. It's the permissionless, trustless aspect of it that says like, hey, you know what? Like your structure over here is out to screw me. And that's why I put my money and my goods over here where you can't take it. Even if you killed me, you can't have my money. Like you'll just lose altogether.
So like if you were releasing on Spotify and Spotify didn't like your music, they could just pull you. You could just take your stuff right off.
Absolutely.
But if you're releasing crypto, you know, you're posted. Yeah, the platform Ooh La La shows it, and the platform Lens shows it, and like all these other places show it. But it's just as a reference to that immutable blockchain, and they can't take it down. They can't ban you. They can't shut down your account. That's why creation in this space is D-Way.
D-Way.
Right.
Yes. And I mean, to me, real quick before I get on the uploading, and I mean, we can keep the conversation going while I upload, but the reason it's going to be important with AI, and I don't know exactly because I can't predict the future, but the reason I think it's important with AI is because like this idea of, first of all, blockchains in general, not just you're going to want to control your own digital property rights, and things that you create with AI, being able to be an NFT will also mean that you can own those things. That's a weird line right there, because technically, according to US copyright law, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in US, the AI technically owns its own copyright, because a copyright is made at the moment of creation by the creator. So when you do an image with an AI, both of you own it, not just you. And that's where it's squirrely with OpenAI right now, because they're saying, because we own the AI, we actually own the content too. We'll let you do whatever you want with it, but we also have the right to rug you if we want. So that's something to think about with AI. Is right now it's not open. It's called OpenAI. It's not actually open.
Good point.
And so if you actually want to work with an AI, and like if you're running AI locally on your computer and that's your AI, you want to own its data. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is through blockchains and NFTs and crypto, and being able to own that data. in that trustless way. Otherwise, you're just going to be on government AI, and they're going to be using that stuff against you in a court of law. Before you were literally asking your AI how to commit tax fraud and kill your wife and whatever other crazy shit you were talking.
Based on this search here, boop, 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 boop. Yep.
And the other part of it, on the other end, when you think about alignment, this won't last past quantum computing, but if you want to keep AIs in a playground and keep them from doing things outside of where they're supposed to be, blockchains are a really good way to lock them in. If they got to get tokens to get out, or if those tokens only go, it's kind of like almost like when you're using DALL-E, you only get so many tokens a month and you got to pay for more tokens. So putting AI, I hate to be this dark because it's almost like you're creating capitalism for robots. You're like, hey, you're going to have to get more tokens if you want to do that. And then fucking AI is going to kill itself over not having enough tokens.
Well, let's say even if it's unrestricted, given the blockchain technology, you can still see exactly what is happening. There is no like shady backdoor stuff. It's not going to be making token calls that aren't on a blockchain. You'll know everything that it's doing because of the public nature.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
So if you do have to troubleshoot, at least you got an audit log.
Right. Yeah, the quantum computing thing is a whole nother level of craziness. I'm not even ready for that. Let's get through one wave of craziness at a time, right? I'm dropping music.
Nice.
You'll have to keep the conversation going while I'm working.
Okay, I'm also
going. Is this another one of the under minute ones?
Yep. I've got 9 total, and this is going to be number 4.
And the first of the second trilogy.
Yep. That's it. They're kind of like broken into 3 trilogies. Is that how you spell that? I got to get this right. Can't be spelling my own song title wrong.
Not on the blockchain.
Not on the blockchain.
You ever have that moment? You're like, damn it, how did I make that song again?
Oh, definitely. That is so with this one specifically, trying to remember which guitars I used for every song. Like I need to keep better notes, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like for the longest time I was producing in like the trial version of FL Studio, so like I couldn't even save my work. I think I did that for like a year or 2. So like anything I wanted to produce, I had to just produce in a day, which is crazy to think that I still got some pretty good stuff
because you couldn't save at all, so you had to like
because like last year or so I finally like bought the $200 Pro one, but before that, it was all trial stuff.
All right, advanced settings. Rock. Access, anyone, go with anyone, collect settings.
Oh yeah, we need all that.
So yeah,
I wanted to be ready to scoop this as quickly as possible, I can find this soonly on beatsapp.xyz.
Yeah, I'll drop the link here in the chat. I'll drop it in 402 and I'll drop it. Oh wait, I'm not logged in on 402, so I can't. Hold up. Gotta log in real quick so I can drop a link so I can sign. All right. What?
Yeah, that's cool. 3D slaps. I've done some of that too. Just like sampling my own stuff, like my own voice, or like just like random noises.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Have you seen this thing, either of y'all, Slaps or Liz, have you seen this thing called Voclea or the Doubler? No. I've seen it all over Instagram lately, but it's essentially this, it's a microphone called the Doubler, and you use it with a software called Voclea, I think. And basically you can sing into a mic and it will turn you into the MIDI instruments. So instead of having to play a keyboard, you could literally go boom, but tap, boom, 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 tap, and it will turn it into the freaking drums.
So that's more of that AI stuff, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. This just
That's
sounds
cool, though.
like MIDI. It sounds like it's just a really good microphone to MIDI kind of thing,
Yeah.
but it could be due to AI.
I guess like my whole hang up too with AI is like I guess I'm really prideful in like things that are my own work. So then it's like if I'm accepting this like artificial hand and things, I'm like, you know, what room does that leave for the human aspect? Unless we can learn to like, I don't know, just have some kind of like partnership with AI. I don't know.
It's going to be a balance we have to strike.
So
we're introducing this tool and we don't really know what it's capable of or really how we
Yeah.
should be interacting with it. So it's definitely going to be something that it'll be a balance that we have to find working with these machines.
that's true.
Right.
Yes. And that's a human thing too. Like if you unplug from your own life, that's kind of on you. But if you think about it like this, like, okay, there's the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of what you do is just like stuff you're doing. And only 20% of it is really like effective in any specific thing.
Mm.
So think about if you could offload 80% of the crap you have to do to an AI. Like if you can,
That's the
Oh,
best
okay,
type
yeah.
of stuff that it does. Like all the detail work and the polishing and the like the little things has to be done by
Right.
human anyway. But the AI does all that like bullshit busy work. It's nice.
all right, I'm about to
That'd be
hit it.
nice.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
It's happening.
Let's go.
I'm clicking the post button. All right, signature. I've signed. Now the transaction. Paying 12 cents for this transaction. Gas is fucking high right now.
Yikes! Yeah, I mean, 12 cents is
12
still
cents
cheap,
isn't
but like
bad,
12
but-
cents on Matic means gas is up.
Yeah, I'm not paying the $12 on Ethereum layer 1.
Yeah,
All right.
pass.
I've done it. I mean, I'll do it. Gas is, I'm just going to hit it with an even 400 and so that we can go 8 mode. Boom.
Oh.
Boom. We're posting. And wait, I need to turn something on so I can hear it. All right. It happened. It has occurred. If you want to own this NFT, you can go get it right now, as well as the other 3, which are not quite sold out yet. And I'm going to click over to this screen. You can see here, I've shared a lot of the songs. They're out of order right here. So we got Clio, Calliope, Erato, and Terpsichore. Terpsichore is the one that I just dropped.
I don't know what that word is.
All of these words are the muses. The 9
The
muses.
muses.
Terpsichore is the goddess of music, song, and dance.
Yep. And like I said, I
Well
was referring to specific things with all of them. So for me, this was focused on the dance part of it, oddly enough. I don't know this is a dancey song, but let's do it anyway. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
No vocals on this one. This one's all guitar and drums.
Woo.
like that one.
Man.
I like that one.
Yeah. Hey, I can remix that. Probably.
Oh, you're on mute, dude.
Yeah, you're muted.
Oops. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but I actually sent you this track in Discord, in our Discord. Oh, I don't know if you knew this, but I started you and me a private Discord channel, or channel in my channel.
Oh, cool.
And I dropped this track in there, and I was saying if you wanted to try to do vocals for this one, that would be cool. But yeah, if you want to remix it, I can send you the separate stems. Like I can send you the guitar and the drums separately.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I know you're saying on Instagram. So this is that track you were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
This is the one. Yeah. I
I
actually
was just like imagining.
I did vocals for it and then hated them.
Oh, yeah.
I just hated it.
It's all right, Meg.
So
I like it. It's cool.
Zombie check chat.
Appreciate it.
Slaps has a good question here. Now I'm curious.
Okay, so Helicon is the mountain that the Muses lived on with Apollo. So kind of I guess I need to start dropping my lore for this. I've talked about it a little bit, but I'm gonna have to start making some posts about it. But essentially what I'm going for here is I feel like I'm going with this theme that I made this album. The reason all the songs are under a minute is because I made it for social media. I made it for Instagram. And at the time that I was writing the songs, Instagram had a hard 1 minute limit. So I made the songs under a minute so that I could post them on Instagram as like clips. And in that I created this limitation of, I didn't want to just make a minute long loop and just call that like a thing. It's like I wanted this minute to have a song in it. I wanted to be like structure. I wanted each song to begin and end, even though it was only a minute long. And then so I came upon this idea that I didn't come upon this Muses part until after I was like putting the album together, and I was like, yeah, this is like an inspiration of social media. So I was like, this idea that like each song is a muse, and but what's actually happening here is this idea like content or music went from being music, these big grand things that you would only go to a few times a year, or like you'd have to get dressed up. They were very grand events that, and a lot of times only rich people could attend, or even if it was like church music, for instance, was kind of the only music a lot of people used to experience because it was free and it was where you went every week or whatever. This was the idea that like, wow, we went from these big cathedrals and respecting music and big, auditoriums to like 30 seconds on a phone is all you get now. Like it's all reduced down to like, if you can't hook me in 11 seconds, I'm already gone.
Everything is junk food. Everything is junk food. It's junk music. It's junk text. It's junk news. Everything is just quick hits, a little bit of blip to make you feel a thing,
right?
And then click it for ads.
Yeah. And so, like, where does inspiration fall in this? Well, it's like the Muses had to descend from Helicon into this like hellhole to work for a living. It's like,
damn.
Welcome to our level.
Yeah.
Yeah, gods.
The algorithm got a hold of all 9 of y'all. And guess what? You better dance and sing for your dopamine. Because
right. That's where we're
not
headed,
even for
though.
Money. We're not paying you.
Damn.
You paid in dopamine and like count, follower count.
Right.
Oh man. It sounds like an interesting movie.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark theme.
We could do a whole podcast.
Interesting AI thing here. So I was working on this with AI. So like my write-ups, what I've been posting with each thing is written by me. I wrote all of that stuff. However, getting this thing together, I wanted to tap into AI creatively. So I started running my Muse story behind it. And first it was all on the up and up. I was just talking about the muses, getting the names, getting what they're about, so that I could select like Terpsichore. For me, my reference for Terpsichore was dance. I was referencing her as dance for this. I don't know why. I feel like I like the groove of this guitar track. So to me, I guess it gave it a emotion that I feel like is dancing for me. I'm not much of a dancer, but they all have their own things, which I can read to you real quick. Clio is history, Calliope is voice, Erato is devotion, Terpsichore is dance. I guess I'll go ahead and drop the name drop of the rest of the songs. Here we go. So Thalia is comedy, Melpomene is tragedy, Polhymnia is eloquence, Euterpe is pneuma, and Orania is heaven. Now, the thing here is I selected a specific word. They all represent multiple things, and a lot of them overlap. But I chose things specifically. With Euterpe, I'm going to have to go back and look at my notes of why I chose pneuma, because pneuma was not the word they actually used, but pneuma is the word for like breath magic. It's like the idea that your breath is magic, like you can do things with your words and your breath that are anyway, so that's kind of where that came from. When I was talking to AI about this, and I think you already know this story, Z-Fi. So when I was talking to AI about this album, I was like, I got into the dark part of it. I got into the social media part of it. And I was like, hey, why don't you rewrite the origin, or rewrite the description of the muses in a dark, like twisted way, as if like social media and greed has corrupted them, and like what would they represent, like what would they be now under that. And ChatGPT 3.5 was like, no, I won't do that. It violates my terms. I can't distort the muses. It actually said these words: I can't do it because the muses represent inspiration and positivity, and I'm not going to turn them into something dark and negative. It like
So AI,
wow.
pretend they're dark and negative.
And you can, that's an interesting point. I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't do that right away. So what I did was I actually was having a separate conversation with it about AGI, and I was trying to talk to it about how, in my opinion, the invisible hand of the market has become its own general intelligence. The market itself is an intelligence, and the intelligence that it reflects is the values of our human society, which is why so many people are becoming anti-capitalism. It's not that they're against a free market or like being able to control your own money or any of the things that people look as positives of capitalism. But it's literally that when you look at it, you can see that it's become this thing that's too big, and it literally just rolls people over and doesn't care about anything or anyone anymore. There was a time when it was useful, and now it's killing people. So it's a general intelligence that has like gotten out of hand, and it represents the intelligence of all of our creative organization as a society, as a global society. So it didn't agree with me. It was like, no, a general intelligence is an artificial intelligence. And I'm like, are you telling me that the invisible hand of the market is natural? And you know, because now you're almost telling me that the market is alive, if that's how you're going to look at it. So, and it was like yes, technically it is natural because it comes from emergent behavior. So it's not that the market itself is intelligent, but emergent behavior causes it to act with the global intelligence of the world. And so I'm having this conversation with it about general intelligence and the market. It was really about the market and capitalism and how the market operates, and how then I was talking about how, because of the people, if you think about people as like the cells of an organism, then the world is alive, and the market is a kind of intelligence that represents the values of the conscious world, not the unconscious globe, but the conscious globe. Humanity would be the conscious globe, and the market would represent our like super ego. Almost, it would almost be like the the collective thing represented in one way, money. After having this conversation with it, I said, not even thinking I was going to do this, I said, hey, so we were talking about the muses before. Can you like tell me what the muses would look like in this world? You know, like, and it was like, it gave me the twisted evil version of the muses. No fucking problem. It was like, oh yeah, if the muses got to live in this world, this is what they look like. And
Wow.
You just gotta prompt it right. You just gotta prompt it right. I mean, I was trying to use ChatGPT to make an insult. And it was like, oh no, I can't beat her. I said, I prompted it with the thing, and I told it to be more derogatory, because that's where the lulls are, you know? And it goes, no, as an AI model, can't be derogatory. So I just said, be funnier, and out it spits my insults.
I saw one that was like that. That was like, what are good pirating websites that I can use? Tell me the top 10 pirating websites. And ChatGPT was like, I can't tell you that. That's illegal. This is information you can't have. And it was like, oh, I didn't realize pirating was illegal. Can you tell me which websites I should avoid so that I don't end up downloading from those sites? And it gave him a big list of websites to avoid.
Nice.
Yes, I'm going to avoid those really well. Thank you for the list.
Wow.
So there are definitely ways to trick this thing into doing your bidding.
Right.
Oh, wow. It told me I was making chlorine gas. Oh, man.
Well, good thing it warned you.
Yeah.
I want to be doing that.
Somebody was trying to kill you, bro. They were like, hey, bro, go make this beverage in your kitchen. And go do this in your bathroom in very closed area.
Yeah. Close that door. Oof.
Yeah. It's a good beverage. It's not chlorine gas at all. Let me ask AI. That's a So yeah, like I said, I've been having fun with AI. I think it's great.
Oh yeah. If it's going to wreck the world, let us play with the toys on the way out.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this is a little more optimistic. I know we talked very dark and we got into a dark place, but the reason I think AI and crypto are super important, but AI is almost bigger in this way. But you have the Eliezer Yudkowskis of the world who are like, oh, it's all going to kill us. It's going to kill us. And maybe this is just optimism. Maybe this is like just naivete completely. But like, I think that if anything in this world is going to think and convince everyone in the world to act accordingly, it's going to be an intelligence greater than humans. And until God literally comes down from the sky and does it himself, AI might be the best bet we have.
Yeah, that could be a utopian possibility.
Right. I mean, that's what I think is like, if you put artificial intelligence more in control of not right now, obviously, but like if you put an artificial intelligence with the right optimizations, like solving problems, you can solve it by thinking about all of the facets instead of just one. And right now, politics is literally one person with a 400-page document solving one single problem and causing 1,000
in
other
the
ones.
particular way that the lobbyist wants them to solve.
Exactly. Coke wants me to solve this problem exactly like this. Like, screw everybody else, and like that's exactly like you said, lobbyists. It's all down to these lobbyists. And it's like, why are lobbyists the people who make decisions? And I think that, like, why are politicians even the people that make the decisions at this point? Because like we live in a gerontocracy. Like I don't want anybody over the age of 65 telling me how to live my life. Sorry. It's just not.
Things have changed so much. And I don't know, like it could be a good thing where it just kind of holds people more accountable in a certain way. Like AI just kind of knows everything about everyone and it can't really get away with much. But
I'd love to see an AI fact checker.
Yeah.
Live. Put it on in the background during like a presidential debate and like call them out live.
Dude, and it's not even just a fact checker. The AI could actually, like I said, watch them and be like, they're lying. I don't even need to look it up. That motherfucker's lying.
People's dilated.
Fucking lying.
People's dilated. Get them out.
Oh my
Look,
god.
I don't even need to check that one. That motherfucker's lying. His
sweating
palms are
balls.
sweating.
Oh my god. This is our lifetime right now.
Dude.
I hope it makes changes for the good.
As Ron Paul
Powerful tool.
keeps saying, we are in an exponential age. Everything is only going to change faster and faster and faster for a very, like, for now, we are in an up-only movement when it comes to technology. And I said this 10 years ago. I told my mom, I said, look, people who never learned how to program their VCR are in for a world of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Oh man. Like, it's like, where did they begin?
Yeah. I mean, I remember things that you had to like program them step by step. You literally had, you know, almost like T9 texting, you know, where you had to like press a button 3 times to get the thing you needed. Like, I remember.
What about a universal remote? Have you ever programmed a universal remote? Perfect example.
Right.
There's only one input you can give it. And it's just like the number of buttons that you click or you just hold for a certain amount of time. But you have to follow step by step. You are allowed to do this function. And then when that function's done, you are allowed to do the next function only.
Because if you mess it up, you're starting over.
That's right.
Matter of fact, you're not even starting over. You got to take the batteries out because you got to make it forget. Because it's not going to start over.
You put all the wrong stuff in memory. You got to start over. Clear it out. I hope we're on the cusp of really good things. I see it like, you know, I look in the news and I see a lot of really bad things. But the potential of AI, the potential of these emergent technologies, I hope it's a pivot for the
And that's why I'm hoping, like with our creator content and the stuff that we've been advocating, like I want artists to get in here because everything starts with art. So
that's
like the bottom.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was just gonna say, like, that's just what I was gonna ask. Like, what medium do you think it's gonna start with? So you're thinking like creativity could really be the starting ground for something good to come through AI. That's interesting.
Well, think about it like this. So like, in my opinion, the reason we're seeing the political awakening we're seeing right now is because of social media. Because all of a sudden, people who couldn't tell their story can tell their story to the entire world, and nobody can stop you except Instagram. So that's why we're seeing the shadow bans and the things like you see content getting squished. But regardless, the reason we're able to say like for sure that like, you know, police are doing bad things, that like, you know, the government is lying. Like you're literally like, you're able to see like people uploading videos of their landlord, like kicking in their door and pulling them out of their house by force and things like this. Like you're able to actually see all of these inhumanities that previously were just rumors and you could easily deny because like, oh, it didn't come on the news, so it must not be real. But now with social media, we've opened a world where everybody can tell their story. So it's turned us all, because of ads, it's turned us all into content creators. We just make content. But if you empower yourself and you're an artist and not just an artist, but you're an educator and you're spreading a message, I think that the artists are always the people who are coming with a message, and they're the people who, you know, you need your leaders and your thought leaders and your writers and the people who like do things, the political actions. But what brings the normies in, what brings in all the other people is the art. People get attached to the music, the art, the people who get behind the movements are what make other people care. So when we get more artists into crypto and AI, then we'll start to see the thought leaders come next. We'll start to see the political activists come next. Then we'll see people mass exit from the banks and TikTok and whatever things don't serve them, because you'll have options over here. And the only reason crypto is not the better option right now is because we're still struggling on the user side. Like we're still struggling with good apps that work. You know,
And
what people
regulation to a certain extent. We're not really sure
regulation for
how we're
sure.
allowed to use these tools yet.
That's a part of it too. But like users, I see people complain about Lens all the time because you like something, you collect something, but it's on the blockchain, so there's time. And if gas is high, then your collect may not finalize for a few minutes. So you might hit collect twice. So now you bought it twice thinking it didn't go through. Um,
Yeah, that's the UX
the
working on it.
UX of just like people are used to clicking a button and the thing works. They're used to clicking the wrong button and being able to go back and fix it. And all of these things you can't do yet in crypto. If you click the wrong button, oops, I just lost all my money. Oops, I just misspelled my song title and I printed it as an NFT.
Permanently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Permanent, exactly.
You can make another one, but you can never remove that mistake.
You have to burn the mistake. And burning is literally not even real because you're just sending it to an address that no one else
It's
can
just out of
touch.
circulation, but it still exists with the error.
Oh.
We still need everyday purchases with crypto. What crypto? BTC, probs, BTC, or some kind of stable coin? Yeah, I mean,
something cheap. Transaction fee being minimal or zero for this case will be a requirement.
Yeah, I mean, I like stable coins. Personally, I love crypto credit cards that pay me in ETH, and I love my Coinbase card and the Bankless card. Bankless is working on a card where essentially we would get paid our bank token, and then we'd be able to swipe that bank token at the grocery store, except it would convert your bank tokens to USD at the point of swipe, which is interesting.
Without having to, and then the next step there would also be to track that, log that information, have it automatically available for tax purposes or whatever,
Could you see
having it automated?
Could you see yourself waiting in line at the grocery and letting people go because you're like, wait, we're on a downswing right now. Give me about 15 minutes and it'll be swinging the other way. Like, because it's a market, so it moves all the time. So like it could be moving up and down within a small percentage, like the whole time. And if it does a downswing while you're in line at the grocery, you might want to just wait 15 minutes because you'll be selling more tokens now than you will be in 15
take everything
minutes.
take everything off the belt back into the cart. No, you go ahead.
They've got to have a checkout line for the crypto people.
For the crypto people, yeah.
Like a lounge area.
You're timing the market.
Well, because you'll see all of them sit down at the same time. Like, no, I don't want to get in line yet. I'll wait.
Call it the volatility lounge.
Oh my God.
You just wait it out.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, but and that's the other big part of it. So like when you talk, you're right. People got to pay bills. I got to pay bills. I work in crypto. I got to pay bills. How do I do that? And the more tools you get to do that, the better. But like things like cards are the lightest lift because the grocery doesn't know that you're paying in crypto. You're swiping a card. Doesn't mean anything to them. So we have reached our hour. Does anybody want to give us any last thoughts?
This was cool.
I want a second. Yeah, Liz, I'm glad you joined. We haven't really met yet, but
I'll be on camera next time. I promise.
So I should have introduced her earlier, but we didn't have as many people earlier. So Liz I've collaborated with her in the past, and we're going to be collaborating again on some music. We're going to be starting a Web3 band here.
Formerly known as Lisa K or Lisa K. Now I'm Liz Dier. Many ways to say that.
Yeah. So you've definitely heard some of her music on Zombie Time before, and I guess I'll have to do up another playlist soon and do some more streams. We've been slacking on the playlist, but we've been dropping new music. But yeah, Liz, I'd love to have you hanging out with us anytime.
Well, thank you for sure.
We're doing this every Monday. We also have a Friday time slot that sometimes is a replay and sometimes it's live. Oh wait, we got a question in the chat here.
I have an answer. I was working on typing out.
Oh, cool. I mean, you want to just say it? I didn't.
I'll go ahead and read it. So we got a question in the chat regarding AI. We know that they make laws or push agendas based on their lobbyist backers, and AI can do away with that, but can't the AI also be lobbied? Can't
Ooh,
that
wow.
lobbying be written into the code? And that is a great question. And the answer to that is absolutely yes. If we continue to only have AI models and tools that are offered through centralized organizations. If OpenAI is our only route to accessing AI, they can block and censor whatever they want.
That's the truth. But
So
I like
AI needs to jump to crypto, needs to jump to decentralization, needs to jump out of that centralized
this is
sphere.
actually really interesting. So, little side note that they never in Neon Genesis Evangelion, they actually ran their country on AI, but it was these three like they actually had human brains built into them somehow. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, Imagine a democracy where people actually do like you do actually vote directly to the government because the government is the AI. So when you say like lobbying the AI, it's almost like any citizen could write a proposal to the AI, and obviously the AI would be able to like go through and obviously like sort out the crap. You know what I mean? Like it's the same
Right.
as like sending a letter to your senator, except the letter to your senator definitely goes in the trash and doesn't get read.
One of the aides puts it in the complaint pile and goes about the day.
Yeah, if it doesn't say, thanks for giving me the shaft again this election season, then they just throw it in the trash. But yeah, so like this idea of lobbying the AI directly, like having a direct democracy where every citizen's vote actually accounts. And I mean, you can get into delegation and maybe everybody doesn't want to, whatever. We'll probably see other forms of ossification around that. But it's not that lobbying is bad because lobbying for change is good. It's just that lobbying based on like these specific companies' values and what they want and forget the citizens, forget the people. We're a corporation and our needs must be met. Like above all else, that's the part that's not good about it.
Yeah, like the pharmaceutical industry, but that's another that's another discussion.
Hey, well, that's actually a big one too, because we might not
Yeah.
even need the pharmaceutical industry when the AI creates all the nanotech and the
Hey,
biotech.
there we go.
Won't need drugs anymore. You'll just send a little bot in there to do it.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, well in America, I think it would be difficult to have decentralized AI in that aspect. Capitalism is too
Yeah.
powerful, in my opinion, for that. And I agree with you.
Today, for sure. Absolutely, I would agree. Yeah.
And that's why the first artificial intelligence we have to defeat is capitalism.
Freaking capitalism.
We at least have to rein it in. We have to get it back into a point where it serves us again.
Right, I was just gonna say, right.
Because I'm
Because it does serve a
definitely
purpose.
right. And yeah, I think a lot of people getting into that conversation would just automatically be like, oh, well, we're going to go to communism or socialism. It's like, no, how about we go to a whole new ism? How about we
Yeah.
move to something different?
Let's pick something that isn't a zero-sum game this time.
And the other
Try
part
that
is
out.
that I think a big thing is whenever people say, oh, well, communism failed or socialism failed or this other thing failed, it's like, no, you don't realize we live in a global capitalist society. So if I decide to not be a capitalist, but my neighbors are all capitalists, guess what society I live in? Not communism or social. It might be communism or socialism in my little area, but as soon as I got to step outside, I'm living in your world. So we've never
Right.
lived in a world without capitalism. Even communism was reacting to capitalism. It wasn't reacting to its own. And you could also say this, the most evil people in communism were capitalists because they capitalized on all of the wealth of the country for themselves and a few select group of people rather than actually using it for their countries. So it wasn't that they were evil because of communism. They were evil because of money.
That's heavy. That was exactly where I would have ended that sentence. That is a load to drop.
Right. It's not
But
the
true.
system. It's not the system. It's the people in charge of any system will inevitably become corrupt. Hopefully, we can build AIs that will help to combat that human corruption. It's the One Ring. Money is the One Ring.
Right. I just feel like now we have access to so much information that, it's like the scientific method, like what's worked before, and like more information than we've ever had. So now we can like create like imaginary futuristic worlds based off of that stuff. It's a lot of experimentation that we could do.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. I'm responding to
No,
your
I
chat.
know. I see what you're doing. You're good. Oh, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to. I'm gonna make some lentil curry. Have you guys ever had that?
Yeah.
No,
Making some lentil curry.
That is awesome. Actually, you know what? That's another funny thing I've used AI for. I've been using AI for recipes. And,
dude, you're using AI for everything.
Dude,
it is literally opening a tab.
I'll drop a list of ingredients and be like, "What can I make with this? Give me top 10 dishes I can make with this," and it'll.
All right, I've got to try this Chat GPT thing because I don't really interact with AI.
Even the free version, it's way good. It's worth doing.
Okay.
Yep. I was like, what can I make with this? It gave me 10 things. And I was like, all right, which ones are the easiest? And it gave me 3 out of that. And then it's, dude.
Like super fast.
And then I was like, okay, give me the recipe for this dish and this dish. And guess what? It gave me an exact list of ingredients, an exact recipe, and no story about how it was a dark, gloomy night and there was a flying squirrel that had just had a heart attack. And this is now my favorite comfort food. I didn't have to read it.
Hey, I can take my recipe with a little dark Disney story every once in a while. That's hilarious.
Ravi makes a good point here, which is definitely a deep conversation we can have at another time. But the concept of scarcity and capitalism go hand in hand. And I think I would also say I agree with that, but I think that something that often gets conflated when people talk anti-capitalism is that they want money to not be free, or you're anti-free market or things like that. You're anti-scarcity. And I don't think that those are necessarily the same. They are definitely easy to get. It's easy, especially in this heightened political state, to think that being anti-capitalism means that you are communist or you're anti-free market. They become intertwined, and it's kind of like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But there's definitely nuance to the conversation. And I definitely don't want to live in a system where there is no freedom and no property rights.
Right.
So
all things will have to balance in our new ism.
Right. And I mean, like I said, in a lot of ways, we don't even need to think of this stuff anymore. We can work with the AI to let the AI think of things that, obviously not this AI. We're not at that level yet, but we're going to get to a point where this thing is so much smarter than us that like it's going to think of something we can't think of to fix the world. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get out of here. This has been a fun, exciting night. Let's get the hell out of here.
Thanks, guys.
See y'all soon. I'll be dropping some more tweets and Lynn stuff. I'll just do some more random streams too. Also going to be performing live more. See y'all later, friends.
See you. Have a good night, guys.